Welcome to another episode of Enterprise IT Tech Talks presented by Technology Worldwide. We have a bonus episode celebrating women in business, extending our celebration of Women Appreciation Month. And we have yet another champion in business and technology. I give you Masha of Vertical Cable. Masha, welcome to our humble podcast. How are you?
Thank you so much, Ray. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I start this kind of podcast every way. I think I'm doing okay today. I think it's a good night.
Same here. Same here.
So where in the world are you this evening?
I am here on the East Coast, about 8:39 p.m. in sunny South Florida, Fort Lauderdale to be exact. And
Okay.
it's pretty warm out here.
So you had to rub in the fact that it's sunny in Fort Lauderdale and it's warm. Meanwhile, I'm up in Pennsylvania. It is not warm. It is not sunny. So thank you.
Sure.
That was
How's the weather up there now?
well. It's not as good as how it is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But it wasn't terrible today. It's raining right now. It was mid
Oh,
50s.
well.
We'll start seeing some sun at some point. I
Yeah.
don't know when, but maybe. I actually will be in Florida in a couple weeks. I won't be Fort Lauderdale. I'll be down Fort Myers.
Oh,
So yeah, going down for a
oh my
wedding.
God.
So it'll be
Yeah,
fun. So
close enough. You
at
never
least I'll
know.
get to yeah, close enough. But at least I'll be able to enjoy Florida weather for
I
a few
agree.
days.
I agree. Hey, the grass is always greener, right? It's hot. I want to be in the cold. You're in the cold. We want to be in the, you know.
Do you ever want to be in the cold though? Are you a cold person?
Um, for my hair purposes, you know what I mean? No, I'm just messing around. It just is what it is. Like, it's so warm here that yes, I would love to be in the cold or, cooler weather for a bit. But of course, when it's too cold, you want to be back here. So, somewhere where it's kind of, you know, moderate would be ideal. But here we are.
I don't know where that is. Like maybe that's somewhere out in
Yeah.
California, maybe San
Yeah.
Francisco, or out around the Bay. I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you ever been? I've
Yeah,
never
I,
been.
I lived in San Diego actually for a couple years. So
Oh,
they're
nice.
known, supposedly, and I believe it because I did live it, but they're known to have the best weather in the nation. So real warm and sunny and not humid during the day, cool at night. You need for sure like a light knit jacket or sweater of some type. So it gets pretty chilly.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Didn't know
Yeah.
that.
But it's beautiful. I mean, you can't beat it really. So yeah.
Nice. So we'll get to like some of the fun stuff and getting to know you a little
Sure.
bit better. But tell us a little bit about you and what you do at probably one of my favorite companies, Vertical Cable.
Yes. Well, first of all, of course, as always, Ray, thank you so much for always supporting us through Vertical and right. Um,
There's no hat
yeah,
here,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
was
yeah.
I was doing it.
But really, it means a lot to always have your continued support in any way that we can and any which way we can on social media and on these podcasts and through Mike, of course, who's not here with us tonight. But in general, it's always a pleasure to hear from you and work with you and do all that we can. So really, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here tonight um, and always showing your love for us at VC. Um,
See, I did it again. Reverse
it,
camera. Always showing my VC love. I think I said before we hit the record button that I absolutely love Mike.
yeah.
He is phenomenal. He's an amazing asset to your business, and he sends me really cool stuff all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Uh,
I am. I'll take it all. So no, we love you guys, and it's mutual, right? You guys support us, our communities, in everything we do. So it's really nice to have a partner like Vertical Cable and have people literally like you and Mike and many other people there that we can literally just pick up a phone and call, and that's rare that you get that. So thank
yeah,
you.
no, absolutely. It goes both ways, and we do our best for everybody. And once we kind of start and build that relationship, we hope to maintain it, for as long as it's welcomed. And, we hope to continue to grow with you guys and, all the others that have kind of supported us along the way because, I will admit it has not been an easy time and it has been challenging and it has been, headache after headache and fire after fire, so to speak, and all sorts of things. So the feeling is mutual for sure. And like I said, we hope to continue in another year and continue to see where things go with us and in general, it's hopefully going upward for everybody.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
back to vertical
Yes.
cable.
Yes.
What do you do down in beautiful Florida for vertical cable?
Yes. So my role, I do a little bit of everything, right? So we, in general, vertical cable, we all have learned to kind of really um, be a each member of our company is a valuable asset because of their skill set and their adaptability to be a multitasking or multifunction, you know, person or individual. So, like Mike, who does an array of things from marketing to arranging the trade shows to all sorts of different trainings and product offerings and sales. I mean, the guy is everywhere, and that's kind of something that I also undergo. I'm pretty much in the sales side. I'm running the sales department out of Florida. I work very closely with all the different account managers who are opening up new accounts or promoting new product lines or also attending trade shows with Mike. Pre-COVID, we were going to about 10 to 15 shows a year, anywhere on the East Coast to the West Coast to the Midwest. You name it, we probably attended Cedia, Big C, ISC. We're part of a buying group, AIN group. They do about 2 to 3 shows a year. So I take lead on that, and we kind of prepare and have a game plan as far as who the attendees are, and every show is a little bit different. So I love sales. I'm not, doing it every day, but it's definitely just in me, and I enjoy it, and I just enjoy interaction. But besides that, of course, the operation of the different offices. So, we have 5 locations, right? Florida, California, and New York, which are all distribution facilities. And we ship and kind of operate the same and have the same infrastructure in all 3 locations, with full-fledged staff and warehouse, help, of course. And then, in addition, we'll have the manufacturing plant out in Texas and the fiber house in North Carolina, which is newer for us. We've been kind of doing it for about a year and a half. So we are promoting and distributing bulk fiber as well and connectivity as of last year. So it's been new for us. It's a new chapter. It's been a new journey. It's been challenging, but I think it's one of those things that we're definitely happy that we have it, and of course we could touch on that later. But it's one of those things, we have it, and once the customer base kind of transitions into that, we're ready. So that's kind of been cool for us, but it's a lot. And of course the HR side of things. I'm always hiring and training and onboarding individuals at our HQ and for all offices. We're always kind of reviewing what we need, what we're lacking, what we need, where we need extra manpower, extra brain power, you name it. Things like that. Just overall kind of observing, seeing our stats, seeing where our numbers are. I work closely with Joe Moore out in New York, and we set and maintain our sales goals for the salespeople. And always, constant policy, procedure, implementing. Today I was actually in the warehouse. I got home a little bit late tonight. We hired a new operations manager for the warehouse, and learning new techniques on how to better our facility and just the overall way of how we do things. We're not perfect. We're always looking for better ways to learn and advance and make our team happy. So we're definitely willing. We're smaller, family owned and operated, so we have the luxury to do a little bit more than the average corporate hierarchy, where you have to go through 17 different managers and 17 different process, just to get one small answer or determination of if you can do this or if you can't do that or whatever. So it's a little bit about my role. I hope that kind of I hope I didn't overwhelm you.
No, not at all. No, and honestly, it's great that you did all that because, if I'm going through my little checklist of questions that I wanted to ask you, you just answered like 30
Yeah,
of them. So that's
yeah.
perfect. So, guys, the interview's over. Thank you. It's been great seeing you. I
See
hope you have a
ya.
wonderful evening.
Back to my wine.
No, that was back to it. Wait a minute. What do you mean back to it? Enjoy it while you're
Oh,
doing this.
twist my arm.
I mean, by all means. No, by all means. That's what it's here for. Cheers. I
Cheers.
mean, this sadly is just water, unfortunately, but at least it's in a vertical
Hey, I'm
cable
not on the
bottle.
clock, right?
No, ma'am, you are
Yeah,
not. You are
that's funny.
absolutely not.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so no, I mean, in a nutshell, it's just, and I enjoy it. That's all I can say. I enjoy wearing the multiple hats because if I were in a position that I'm doing the same thing every day, repetitive, I mean, I don't think I would be successful in that type of role, to be honest with you.
No, and I'm the same way. I used to, have sole job responsibilities when I worked for a larger company. And one of the things I hated about that larger company that I worked for, besides all the red tape that you talked about having to cut through to be able to do anything, was the fact that I really was only responsible for one area. I wasn't allowed to touch anything else. And being in the position I'm in now, my hands are in everything. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing
Exactly.
some days. It really just depends. It just depends on what side of the fence you're on that day.
Exactly.
So, let's start with your name. You said it earlier, but let's give me the full pronunciation because there's a lot of letters in there and I don't want to screw it up.
Sure.
I really don't.
No, 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 no worries. So it's Masa
Okay.
Sattarzadeh.
It's actually a lot easier than I
Yeah,
thought it
yeah.
was.
Just takes a couple of
Masa
times. Yeah,
Sattarzadeh. Sattarzadeh. All right, I'm going to say it three more times. Sattarzadeh. 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 I got it right. Did I do good?
that's amazing. Absolutely.
Woo! I
It's
win today.
perfect.
Life is good.
Perfect.
So, what is the origin of that name? It's actually a beautiful name, but what's the
Thank
origin?
you. Thank you. So, actually, it's Iranian origin.
Okay.
So, parents came over. I'm firstborn along with my sister, who's older than me by a couple years. Um, we are, both parents are Iranian. They met here in Ohio, actually. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll go back to that.
Yeah.
Ohio. There's nothing in
Yeah,
Ohio,
random.
but except Dave. I'm sorry, Dave. Dave's from Ohio. Sorry, Dave Johnston. You're
Sorry,
from Ohio.
Dave.
Ohio's great. Sorry.
Yeah, but it is. It's Iranian and firstborn, American over here. So it's been, a great experience here for us and all these different opportunities. So
Okay. So, how did you get involved with vertical cable?
so um it's a great question.
Maybe we'll circle back to
No,
that.
no,
What were you
no.
doing
No, no,
before
no.
vertical cable that maybe got you
Yeah,
here?
yeah, no. So long story short, it's been around for many years, Vertical Cable. The parent company's Chip Tech Inc. And it actually originated in '89.
Okay.
And it started as a computer parts and repairs, motherboards, monitors, your basic repairs. We were like the mom and pop shop you go to for your computer needs at that time. And we were doing good, it was a good living and things were going well, but over time obviously '05, '06, the tech boom and trying to compete and stay afloat with the Dells of the world and the Apple and the Best Buys and the Comp USA, at that point, back then, and it just became very challenging, obviously. So it was shortly after that where we were introduced to the low voltage, side of things in about '07, where Mike, my dad, he kind of transitioned the vision of the company from, this computer company, repairs and things like that, to a low voltage wire and cable company. So my sister and I, like I mentioned earlier, we're not his two sons. If we were his two sons, we'd be working for him from the day we, graduated high school. Him being a real cool guy and very, non conventional and kind of, coming to this country for a reason, right? allowing us to do what we wanted to go give, whatever we wanted to try. My sister went to art school. She loved it. She's a very talented interior designer. She went to SCAD in Savannah, Georgia. And I studied international business, and I originally kind of wanted to be an attorney, right? I feel like I had the personality for it back in the day, and I just, said, you know what, I really would love to give it a shot, but didn't end up doing it, and kind of decided to join my dad in March of 2018.
Okay.
So before I joined, I was working actually at a college. I had two titles actually. I was a student account manager and a business office manager. So that's kind of where I learned a lot of the things that I'm kind of doing today as well. I was doing, a lot of the payroll stuff. I was doing a lot of the HR stuff at the school, getting to know student accounts and learning really every facet, because the school too, I mean, you'd be shocked. It's really like a little business too in so many ways. So I learned a lot there, and then I decided, you know what? Who else do I want to, bust my ass for? um, and really kind of take charge and see the results. We're doing a lot here at Vertical Cable, and we're constantly growing. We've expanded our footprint a lot over the last, 5, 6 years. So it's been great. It's been a great journey.
Okay. So you answered another question
Okay.
for me. Quite a few questions. It's
Good.
great. You're answering all my questions. I don't even need to be here. You just keep
Hey,
going.
let me go then.
Not
No,
yet.
I'm just
We've
messing
got too
around.
many things important to
No,
talk
no,
about
no,
here.
I'm kidding.
So, I mean, I guess what did you feel was kind of like a turning point at Vertical Cable? Like, what made you guys even go from, just copper supplies and copper wiring to fiber even?
The market, you know, um, like the transition from the computer days to the wire days, to the low voltage side of the business. It was either transition or sync, right? Um, and that's kind of what we're used to, is that you have to always be ahead of the game, um, and be prepared for anything. So copper is still a big, portion of our business today, as it's been for the last, 10, 15 years. But we realized, man, we're getting a lot of fiber hits. Our current copper customers were calling us, emailing us, texting us, hey, do you carry OSP this? Do you carry multi-mode that? Do you carry single fiber? Whatever. And we kept obviously saying no because we hadn't at that point. So instead of losing the business and, telling the prospect or customer, no, sorry about that, we don't carry it, but maybe in the future, we realized, hey, if we don't have it, this customer is going elsewhere and buying it. So why not be not only the copper source, but also the fiber source? So we hired some really talented folks who are really technical and have been a great addition, on that side of things. So it's been going well, and honestly, it's been a great learning experience even for myself. And I'm sure if Mike was here too, he would vouch as far as, it's a lot. It's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of technicality. I mean, it's not just like copper on the fiber side of things. I'm not sure how much you've kind of delved into that type of stuff, but it's complicated in a good way. But even some of our customers, they'll reach out and ask for what we think, they need, and it's like, hey, I got it. I'm not sure, but we can definitely help you, and with my team, and like I said, I have a few good members that really know this side of the business. So we're happy to educate and promote and help as best as we can. So it's been a really interesting but challenging transition.
So, with that being said, and I've got my own
Sure.
question for this, but what is your favorite VC product?
On the copper side,
Well, any side doesn't matter. Right now, like, what is your favorite product?
it's silly, but my eye punch down tool.
It's not silly. It's the greatest tool ever made. But that leads that leads to my next question, though.
Sure.
I mean, of course, a dry punch tool. I mean, that literally has changed the game for guys in the low voltage space. Completely changed it. If you were to venture a guess, and you probably know the exact number, so maybe don't give the exact number, but how many of those tools did you guys sell in the last
God.
year? Or,
Wow.
I
I
mean,
mean, thousands. And you
yeah.
mentioned something. You said, how many did we sell? So,
Well, okay, well that's fair too, because I know where this is going.
I
But go
know you
ahead.
know already.
How,
But no, I mean,
how many? Wait, all right. How many did you
there you
manufacture?
go.
That's probably a better question.
No, no, I'm messing around. But no, I mean, it's really and sometimes you'll get that customer, oh, everybody gets a tool or everybody has their own tool, and it's like, no, wait till you get your hands on my tool, or frankly, wait till your tech gets their hands on my tool. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, it's just one of those things. I think, again, I do believe, and obviously I see it because just the market, there are other tools, there are other Keystone Jacks that it works with, but um, our quality and just our simplicity really kind of allows for us to be special in that, you know.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate, and it's kind of we keep what do they say? Pass it on, so to speak. So Pierce from All Green Lights gave me my first tool, probably 2 years ago, and he said, "Ray, you got to try this thing." He goes, "The way that you're terminating, panels, you're gonna die. Just here's a tool. I'm gonna send you a tool." He sent me like, a dozen or so jacks, and I was hooked. So then I made an order. I bought like 100 jacks and a couple tools, whatever it may be. And I think in the last year, I might have bought a dozen tools. Wait a minute. I may have received at least a dozen or so tools. I paid for
Yeah,
some of them. I swear to
no,
God, I
I
did.
know.
But I do the same thing. I pass the tools on to
Right.
technicians, and I think you guys have made such a great product where I'm like, you know what? Here's this tool. You need to take it because it's going to
Yeah.
change your world. I've given it to two local companies that technically are competitors of mine, but our community,
Yeah.
it's community over competition, right? We don't compete
No.
with anybody. It's like, look, if I give you something that's going to change your game, it's going to make the entire industry better. Use this thing, and I can punch a panel like a 24 port patch panel by myself in a third of the time that it used to take me to punch this same 66 block panel. It's just a great product. So kudos to you guys, whoever your team is that developed that tool, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. So my question to all of my blabbering, which I will continue to do,
No.
sorry, is what tool are you going to make to innovate fiber?
Good question.
Putting the
Yeah,
pressure on.
yeah, no, I mean, we've actually, that's kind of where we like specialize, right? It's like everybody sells, a component, right? Whether it's the connector or just the fiber optic cable, in bulk, um, or the adapters, which is part of the connectivity stuff. But different vendors or let's say companies, they focus on one or the other, right? Or maybe two out of the 10 that, an installer would need or a contractor would need. Whereas we we try to make our customers' lives as easy as possible to be able to purchase everything from us. So already, we started, of course, I mean, like I said, last year and in the beginning, of course, we're all learning and training and purchasing just the bulk fiber. Outside plant, indoor, outdoor type buffer, OSP, um, learning all that. The count, the 12, 24, 44. I mean, I'm still learning, really. Um, but shortly after, we said, hey, you know what? To really stand out and to say, hey, we're a player in the game, let's bring on the connectors. Let's bring on the tools. Let's bring on the adapters. Let's bring on the patch cords. So little by little, we are fine tuning where we are the fiber shop. You know what I mean? You don't need to go to 5 different places to get everything you need, including the tool. So we are in the works for that. I think this year, to be honest with
So
you,
excited.
yeah. Um, if not already, they're constantly. trial and error. Let's try this and let's bring this and let's see how this works. So I would say this year, and I think it would just be equally, if not better, than our Keystone tool.
Well, you've just set a gauntlet. I mean, you said better than that Keystone tool, and
Pressure's on.
that's going to be hard. Yeah, the pressure's on. Get on that,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool. That's
yeah,
awesome. I'm looking
yeah,
forward to
yeah.
it. I can't. Oof, I can't even tell you how many hours of my life
I
that tool
know,
has
I
saved me.
know. No, I
So
mean seriously,
it's pretty incredible.
it's pretty cool.
And the one again, I go back to this tool because I use it all the time. The thing that I think I love the most about it is Cat 5, Cat 6. It doesn't make a difference. Same tool, same motion. Your wires are in the same place. So there's another company that begins with an L that I'm not going to bring up. Their wiring is actually different between their 5 and their 6
Mm,
jack. So I didn't understand it why their color code
mm,
changed. But if you look at the color code from their Cat 5 jack to their Cat 6 jack, it's different. Doesn't make any sense. There's no reason to. Whereas yours is very clearly laid out. It's big, helps my blind old man eye see, and I can terminate wire pretty
yeah,
easily. It makes me
yeah,
happy. And I'll get back to the, patting your company on the butt a little bit if I
sure.
can. One of the things that I really love about, your organization and not just, your improvement on what you do, it's your constant improvement and listening to
Yes.
your clients. So, you know, Mike has redesigned your pull box 3 times in the last 2 years, and the new box is amazing. I mean, it's solid. You can stand on it. It pulls clean. Your wire's so much thinner. That was like these are all things that they weren't necessarily complaints, but it's like, hey, we'd love your cable to be thinner. You guys listened. You made thinner cable. We'd love the boxes to be able to stand up from us beating the crap out of it. You guys listened and made a stronger box. And we know all of these things factor into your cost, your R&D, but your prices still really haven't changed to us, which we really appreciate because you guys are doing all this R&D on the back end, which we know is costing you guys a lot of money because we are whiny people because we're in the ceiling all the time. Who wants to do that? The last thing in the world we want to do is have to hop down and manually pull stuff because it got
Right.
stuck in a box or because the box was so light or it wasn't strong enough that it just was doing cartwheels. You guys listened, and people in our community wanted to make sure that you heard that. We appreciate that you hear us, and we thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. No, thank you. And we're firm believers. Without feedback, there's no real gauge. I always tell people that. The best thing and the best marketing and the best feedback is just word of mouth. It's cheap, it's real, and it's true. And I think you can pay thousands and get your name on the billboards and get the fanciest tech or whatever the case may be, and until and unless that person is pulling it and feeling it and using it and installing it, um, it's really hard to say that, hey, I can stand by that product, right? And just how I said earlier, like about our fiber, we kept hearing hits, we kept losing sales, we kept trying to convince the customer that, hey, copper is still what you need, but in reality, they're moving on. Their jobs are requiring fiber. So we said, hell, this is going to be a learning curve. It's going to be challenging, and believe me, it has been in a great way. We're happy that we have it. We're happy that we're ahead of the game, but you have to be open and, of course, able. Like you said, it has not been, um, you know, the most financially. I don't know how to put it, but like it's not like it's been free for us to make all these changes, let's say, and of course, the editing of the boxes or the wire sizes, the diameter, the thickness, whatever it is. So if we can do it and it's reasonable, believe me, we will do it. When
Yeah, and that's a great
yeah,
commitment.
yeah. So it's been great. I have Mike on videos and pictures. You've seen Mike, you've met Mike. The guy's big. He's tall.
It's a big guy.
He's fit, but he's
Yep.
a huge over 6 feet tall guy who's standing on my, you know, 40, 50 pound box. And that thing is still standing in perfect form. So, from what it was to what it is and where it's headed, I really feel like we're constantly improving.
I would agree. I have
Thank
to
you.
agree. Okay, so we're going to take a break here from all of
Sure.
the wonderful vertical cable
Sure.
talk. We're going to go back to getting to know you a little bit more. So, quick fire questions. Your favorite website?
In all time.
Sure.
I
Dealer's
hate that.
choice.
In any industry.
It could be any website you want it to be. It doesn't make a
Okay.
difference. Like where do you go to relax? What do you enjoy viewing?
I love to cook.
Okay, same.
So I get inspired once in a while. So sometimes even at work, just to kind of unwind for like 5 minutes, I'll just start reading, um, different recipes. And I gotta admit, I don't ever go by the recipes because I hate to follow instructions. um, but I
Same.
am pretty creative. So like even when I was a kid, honestly, if my mom were, was here with us in the interview, um, she would tell you that I would follow the directions and I would read like exactly what I need, and then I would always change it. So like the recipe would say, "Hey, you need a cup of water." I would add a cup of milk, and believe me, it came out better. um, so I just have that creativity in me. So I love like different cooking websites or any kind of like food channel. Love it. You know.
Okay. So what is your favorite
Oh
food
God.
then? We'll skip to that question.
Well, it depends.
I
Every
know it's
night of the
tough.
week is something different. Taco Tuesday, Mexican Monday, although it's the same thing here. Um, but really, I mean, between Italian, Mexican, Mediterranean, those few, I would say, and they're kind of all related. So I do enjoy all those.
Okay. Favorite social platform?
Hmm. Um, Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram. The platform that I only reached out to you for like 2 weeks to try to set this interview
Hey, it
up, and you're like,
worked.
nope,
It
I gave it
worked,
up for a
didn't it?
while. It worked
Yeah,
eventually.
I mean, I'm
It's
trying to
okay.
reduce my screen time. Honestly, it becomes too time consuming and not even time consuming, but just consuming. I don't love it, any
Yep.
of it. So
Nah, that's smart. It's kids, put your phones down, take a
yeah,
break. No reason to be
yeah,
on it all the time. Watching this podcast is acceptable. Other than that, no reason to be on it all the time.
exactly.
Favorite beverage? Alcoholic,
Oof.
non-alcoholic, or both?
Okay. Um, Alcoholic. I love a vodka soda.
Okay.
Yeah, with a bunch of limes. Non-alcoholic. you know, I don't want to be lame and say water, but I really like that's what I drink the most and enjoy the most. But I love a Gatorade, you know, a sugar-free Gatorade. Unfortunately, I know, the regular sugar is better and all that, but um, yeah, just makes me feel good.
Okay. Favorite historical figure?
Um, Dead or alive?
Your call.
Um, Let me think about it. Can I come back to this one?
No,
Really? Oh,
absolutely. Okay. We'll go random fun fact about you then. Just completely random,
I love to go
something that
fishing. Mm-hmm.
really. That's the first time I've heard anyone answer that question that way. Okay.
Well, somebody asked me recently, like something random about you, and I was in a class, like, and the teacher asked, "Hey, what do you guys like to, whatever," and I told them that, and they were all like, "Oh, cool," yeah.
So relaxing by the lake, fishing, deep sea, just or it doesn't make a difference.
Listen, I'm not like an avid fisherwoman, I don't like. own my own rods and get crazy, but like definitely any chance I get over the weekend. There's like I live in, South Florida where there's a boat and all sorts of accessibility around the corner and every corner. You pay like very affordable rates, $30, $40 to spend 3 4 hours on a boat, and they provide everything. You bring your booze or your snacks and food, and you kind of just hang out. You get a little tan, fish a little. But so in South Florida it's mainly salt water, and I wouldn't consider it deep sea, and sometimes we don't even catch anything, but it's just like the fun of it.
No, it's great. I mean, it's pure relaxation,
Yeah.
just going out on the boat, drinking in hand, rod in the other. Maybe the rod's in your hand, maybe sitting in a cup, and
Exactly.
you're just waiting for it to go.
Exactly.
But
And
no, it's just good to be outside and away from this thing that I think has gone off about
you,
20
you
times
said
already on
it.
the phone.
You said it. Same.
Yep.
Same.
No, I like that. So this is kind of tied in one of the questions I asked you, so hopefully we don't have to get back to it. But if you could have lunch with any person in the world, dead or alive, who would that be?
My mom's dad. Never
Okay.
met him. Um, I wish I did. He was the only real family member that I never did meet because he unfortunately passed early. Um, and my mom was very close with him, and she was young too when she lost him. So I don't know. I don't know why, but like that's just my first inkling answer, and I think um, maybe I'll change my mind later, and I'll send you a message and be like, oh shoot, I changed my mind. That's not that cool. But I'm pretty family oriented. Means a lot. So I think it's important to know your roots and where you kind of come from and all that. So
Yeah, I mean, if I were to answer that question, I mean, not that anybody ever asks me because nobody cares, but I honestly I'd have lunch with my
really,
grandfather again, my mother's
oh
father. Honest to God, he was awesome. I my memories of my grandfather was he introduced me to baseball. He loved the
yeah,
Phillies, and then hated the Phillies. It depended. We had a player. His name was Mike Schmidt, and depending upon how he was playing that day, it
exactly,
was he's a bum or he's the
yeah,
greatest guy I've ever seen in the
yeah,
world. So, from that very early age, he wasn't a man of many
yeah,
words, but the words that he did say were they just made you
yeah,
laugh, and you knew just by being in the room that he
yeah,
loved you, and that's
yeah,
that's rare.
yeah,
So, no, I get
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, circling back
Hmm.
now, going back to it, favorite
Oh yeah,
historical figure.
shoot. Um,
He asked me again.
no, it's fine. Princess Diana.
I think that's a
Yeah.
great answer.
Um,
Okay,
and the follow up is why.
of course.
I was just intrigued by like her story, and so fun fact about me too. Actually, I don't love TV. In fact, I hate it. I just I have too much to do in one day, and not just work related, but like I said, I love to cook. I much rather come home from work and chill or go on a walk or cook. And even tonight, before I got home from work, I stopped at the grocery store. I got some fresh chocolate chip cookies, some fresh flour to like bake something, just to kind of like unwind. But the one thing that I do enjoy on TV are like documentaries or like really good movies. So I did like a lot of, or I watched a lot of different things, and I even have a Princess Diana book somewhere around the house. Um, and I just thought her story was fascinating. A lot of love, lust, and untold things. So
From everything that I've read about her, she was a very strong, very independent, but very caring, loving person to everybody that was deserving of that.
absolutely, yeah,
So,
yeah. It's like you wish you lived in that um, era, kind of to kind of see how things really went down.
yep, I'm sure there's a lot of
Yeah,
stories that were
totally,
could be
totally.
told, will be told. Again, I don't follow royalty so much because I try to stay away from
Yeah.
TV, but I think it's completely different
Yes.
now even in that same house than it was in
Yeah.
her time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. Like, um, I totally agree. It's just, it's different. So,
perfect. All right. Circling back to all the fun questions we've got for you.
cheers, Ray.
Ah, fine. It's only water. Should have. I wish I would have known. I
Hey, mine's only water too, just in a wine glass.
probably
Yeah.
tastes better too. So one of the things that I love most about Vertical Cable is that you guys are super charitable. You've always been wonderful with helping us with our charity projects locally here within our community. I know you've got your own charities that you work with. You know, the Boys and Girls Club of America. Um, what has always made you guys so charitable? Like, what was that driving force
Sure.
to behind that?
Yeah, yeah. So totally. No, so Mike, our owner, my dad, he's always been a firm believer if you have it and you can do it, to always pay it forward type thing. And so by nature, he's always been that kind of person, that kind of boss. Um, and so, of course, when I joined, being younger generation and being a little bit more involved in the everyday organizations and communities, it didn't take much convincing to say, hey, look, this is something that we should be doing. This is something that we need to be doing. So there's tons of organizations and different, groups or findings and, things like that we always participate in. And, sometimes we'll be there and hosting and funding and sponsoring with a competitor, and that doesn't stop us. We don't shy away from that. If we all kind of believe in something good or have the same vision of wanting to pay it forward, we will make sure to make it happen.
Okay, and that's amazing. I mean, and honestly, that's a lot of the reason you guys make a great product. You got that, but a lot of the reason why we choose to work with companies like yours is because that's one of the biggest parts of technology worldwide, right? Is we're charitable. The things that we do are to make sure that we're giving back to the community, whether that is through charitable events, whether that is through instruction, learning. It's core to what we do, and having a partner that feels exactly the same way as us, it's really heartwarming and it helps us. So that's why we love you guys so much.
Likewise. Yeah. No, it's definitely a good um, when two parties or groups or people, on the same page, it just works. It really does. So we're grateful.
As are we. We can do this all day. We can just keep circling each other, tell each other how much we love each other. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
geez, we should
This
do
is
this
great.
more.
I know, right? So from now on, every Friday, we're just going to have a 5 minute
Yeah,
phone conference call where
that's
to be like,
it.
hey, I love you guys. And we'll
Yeah.
just end it there. Perfect. So, what does success mean to you?
Um, Within the company, is to see longevity, amongst our employees. I think it's crucial to be able to provide stability. Some people sometimes ask, why vertical cable, or why should we work there, or what makes you different? And I think that is something that, especially nowadays, companies can't offer. There's just too much uncertainty in the world, or financial uncertainty, or employment uncertainty to kind of guarantee that. And we every week, every month, every 3 months, we're celebrating somebody's new, um, not new, somebody different's anniversary. Working with 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. So for me, in that aspect, success is seeing people grow with us, be loyal and enjoy what they're doing, and be, part of the family, so to speak. So in that regard, seeing our employment levels be consistent and continuing to grow, is how I would envision success.
No, that's a great answer. I mean, you said seeing people grow with us. I mean, that's so unheard of in business today. I mean, that sounds like a family business mentality as opposed to the you are a family business, but that
Yeah.
doesn't have the mindset of the very large company you guys are becoming.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 branches again. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are you're growing, and it's great.
Yeah. 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 Thank you. Yeah, no, we're like I said, our footprint has been expanding and hopefully continues to, but it's important. There's no I in team. I mean, I know that's cliche, but really, it's true.
No, you're right. But there is an I in IT, and we are really happy you're part of that.
Cool.
There you go. Write that one down. That'll be good. That'll be a slogan.
Yeah.
Um, so, how does it feel for you to be a part of that success? Because you're very successful, and obviously, you're integral to the success of the company, which in turn makes you successful.
Yeah.
You may not want to admit to it, but you are. So, what does that mean to you, and how does it make you feel?
Um, it's a good feeling, but it does come with a price. Um, there's a lot of pressure. It's just it's constant. When you're in these types of positions, you're never really signing off. You're never really logging off. You're never really clocking out. And that's okay. It's um, different people, for different things, and I think learning, business and the nature of what people are capable of, or what their aspirations are, kind of also dictates different things. But for me personally, I enjoy it. We work hard, we play hard, we enjoy, but it's definitely um, challenging. So we enjoy it, and we know what it takes to be in these types of positions to continue to be successful.
I like it. So, how do you feel vertical cable fits into the ever evolving, changing, growing landscape of technology?
Sure. So you kind of said it. We're constantly evolving, and we're constantly changing. Even as a younger person, I'm adapting to all the different things. My building, we don't have keys anymore. We use our phones or keypad through an application called Latch. So um, technology is constantly increasing and advancing. So we strategically, are set up in different regions of the country that we've been very fortunate with the individuals that have joined us on the tech side, in the tech departments, who are continuously improving our productivity and our efficiency and our products in general, to make sure we are up to speed and are in standards, of making sure that, we're being and kind of competitive enough, and of course, standing out, what makes us different when it comes to certain, tech things. So we're definitely, always finding new innovative ways to better our streamline and our processes and our products as well.
Okay. So, I know the answer to this, and I know you know the answer to this, but how do you feel, though, as though vertical cable is shaping the way that we do things?
Ray, you kind of broke up.
So, how do you feel as though vertical cable is shaping the way that IT companies are doing things?
Oh, um, it's a good question. I think um, we really try to cater and tailor make our setup as simple as possible for people like yourself and companies like yourself, where you guys let us know exactly what you're looking for, and we kind of try to deliver that to you guys, because we do have different facets of the business. So we are in the position to be able to satisfy each and every um, customer base that we have.
That makes sense. And, honestly,
Oh, there it is.
right there. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
There isn't a better product on the market,
Yeah.
period,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
doing what we
That
do.
for sure.
And people can argue with me all day, every day. There is no better sticker than this one either. So we'll
Yeah.
go with that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
It's
mean,
funny.
I love my tool. I already told you.
Yep. So our community, we do a sticker exchange, and basically we tell the guys, send us like 100 or so of your stickers, and I'm collecting them all. So I've now got a box of 20 or so different IT companies. And Mike sent me, maybe a dozen of those. The people that have received those want to know where they can get more of those, because that is by far their favorite sticker. Because again, it literally, that tool has changed the way that we all work. So I
That's
know I've
amazing.
said it a lot, but
That's amazing.
I'm
No, I
echoing the
know. I
community.
know.
It's so cool. And you
Well,
guys made it a sticker.
that's it.
So, okay, couple more questions, and then we'll let you get back to your evening, I promise.
Sure.
So, what is one goal that you feel you've exceeded in your life and at Vertical Cable?
Does patience count as a goal?
Oh God, yeah. Having patience is the hardest thing on the planet,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with people. So,
Yeah.
my opinion, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that personally and professionally, it's been a learning experience, a learning curve, and of course challenging. It's um, sometimes you're being tested, and it's important to always remind yourself that this too will pass, and how you respond and how you um, react is key on how things will turn out. So I've learned that being more patient and having that as a main attribute really has helped me reach my other goals. So
Okay, I like that. Do you have any new goals for this year? Something you want to achieve before the end of the year?
well, you know, I think well actually, I mean, a few personal goals. I'd like to purchase a property, a home this year financially, if that works out, and the market's kind of crazy. And professionally, just kind of building a new team, as far as bringing on new talent, as because like I mentioned, when people have been working there for 10, 15, 20, 28 years. Last week we celebrated one of our
Wow.
coworkers 28 years. It's almost as old as I am, I'm 30. And these people too will eventually retire. So it's important to continue to have that vision and be able to replicate and duplicate that type of talent. And it's not easy. So rebuilding, the team and maintaining a great team will be a goal of 2022 as well.
It's a great goal.
Yeah.
Really is. So, last one. What advice would you give to your younger self if given the chance?
To trust yourself more.
I like that.
Yeah, I think, again, I'm born and raised here. I went to college. I, did every other thing that somebody my age was doing at that point in my life. But I think, societal pressures and, the constant need to be this hamster on the wheel, to do better, improve yourself, and to be somebody and do all these different things. I think we lose sight of what's really important. And I think if you just take a pause and you realize, hey, I'm doing pretty good, or you believe in yourself a little bit more at an earlier stage, I think you'll be ahead later on in life. And I think, I'm doing great, as far as professionally and where you're at. But I think it really helps a young person kind of build that confidence early on when you do have the trust in yourself, because other people will see it, but if you see it before others do, you're already ahead of the game.
Amen. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any specific advice that you would give to a young woman that wants to get into a similar field that you're in? And what advice would that be?
Do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I've learned so much, and the people in this industry have been so gracious and so welcoming. Um, and it's pretty powerful, to be honest with you, especially as a woman, as women. Um, it's been a great experience. You get to see a lot and learn a lot, and they don't expect to see um, many women in our industry, unfortunately, but it's changing. So I think seeing young, specifically women in the industry can definitely, they can do it, and they would be great partners and great assets to any company, I'm sure. So just do it, like Nike, although not
Just
just like
take it.
Nike.
Not just like Nike. No, definitely not
Yeah.
like Nike, because then we'll have to pay them for saying their name on
I
here,
know.
which is not
Sorry,
going to
forgive
work.
me.
No, it's okay. So I've asked you, I think, everything that I'd like to ask you. Is there anything that you'd like to ask? Is there anything that we as Technology Worldwide can do to better support vertical cable or you in your endeavors, especially on the charity side? Anything we can do to help you guys, please let us know. If there's anything that you've got on your mind now that we can help you with, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, when the time presents itself, we're not shy. We'll always include and ask, for any support and just promoting and making people aware is in itself a great tool. And just communicating, keeping the channels open and reaching out comfortably and being available to you guys. So, in return, that we can reach out to you guys if we feel that there's something that can work better, or, we'll be sure to make it a point.
No, cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So that is all I have. Where can people find Vertical Cable online?
Verticalcable.com.
Okay. Any social handles you want to share with us for Vertical Cable?
We have the Instagram following, Vertical Cable. We have a Facebook, LinkedIn, of course. All the mainstream channels. And then, of course, our distribution partners do a great job as well in promoting us and having us as, sponsored vendors and partners. We're also, like I mentioned way earlier, we're part of a buying group called AIN. And we do a lot with them. They've been a great partner as well, and they do a great job at shedding a lot of positive light on their distribution partners. So we are one. We've been with the group for, I want to say, 3 years.
Okay.
So we can find us in different outlets, and we're always looking to get our name out there. It's important.
I agree. And I think you guys have done a great job about that. I can't go into any forum or any community or any groups and not see the word Vertical Cable somewhere. So you guys have done a
Yeah.
phenomenal job with that.
We're trying.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for our community. I appreciate everything you've done for my business and everything that I have personally done. So thank you. You can find Technology Worldwide on Instagram, on Facebook, on all the wonderful places for those of you listening, at technologyworldwide.org, because we are a charitable organization that does give back to the community. Technology WW is our social handle, and you can find me at Libertas Ray. Brandon, who can't be with us tonight, who's normally doing these wonderful, voiceovers for us, is he's not feeling very well tonight, but you can find him at TFCIT. Marco, our partner in crime, who I wish was with us tonight to talk about all the fiber stuff. You can find him in Enterprise CC, and Pierce at All Green Lights. So thank you for taking your time out again. It was great having you on. I wish your dog would have jumped in your lap and entertained us, but that didn't happen. But it's okay. But thank you for everything. I appreciate your time, and I hope we can talk to you again soon.
Likewise, Ray. Always a pleasure. And stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll be in touch.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again.
Mm-hmm.